Hi, it's Sandy Parker and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to be making a little notepad for in our purses using buttons, and I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, I saw these buttons on Temu. They're about 2 inches across. They come in a pack of I think 10. I got to figure out where I threw the rest of them, but regardless, there's another one. I started it so that you wouldn't have to wait forever for me to finish it. Then what I did is I took I wish I had a 2-inch circle punch, but all I had was a 2-inch scallop circle, so that's a bummer. But so what, it looks like a flower. That's no biggie. So then what I did was I started layering them up, and I put dots of glue on these 2 pieces. I'm going to show you that. Alrighty, I already forgot where those 2 are. Okay. Don't get confused, Sandy. This little spot and this little spot. You probably can't see them, but it doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to start laying these on top, lining them up so that they're exactly the same all the way around. 2 little dots. I only have a few more to put on, so it won't take me forever. Well, it could take me forever, but I'm hoping it doesn't. Now, this is how I roll. See how many hours we can take. And that's got a big bubble on it. If you accidentally get off on your gluing, as far as, that sounded bad, as far as you glue one above it and one below it instead of gluing the same 2, it's not a big deal, because all you're going to be doing with these is bending them back. You're not going to be, that bubble bugs me, you're not going to be, I know, I probably did the same thing again. You're not going to be cutting these off. You're just going to be using this as a little pad that you're going to keep in your purse, and it's going to be simple, easy, and fun. And when you pull it out of your purse, I actually think this would be really fun at a craft show. You could also glue these together with hold on, I'm trying to figure out where my glue spot is there. You could also glue this together with hot glue. You could glue it together with glue dots. You could use tear tape, whatever you want, whatever works best for you. I'm just holding them till they set up. Then I'm going to use this embroidery floss, and you want to start from the back. If you can get it as straight as possible, that's going to help you out. You want to start from the back, and then you're going to go through the front. And then what I do is I've got glue stuck to me, so it's hard for me to let go of this. You're going to want to make sure as you do this that you're going to hold that tight, so that when you try to put your next piece of thread up through, you don't end up getting it into the ones that are already there. I need to snip this off. I've got a fray that's bugging me, and of course my scissors don't really want to cut this, even though they're my Tim Holtz ones that are supposed to cut through anything. Please hold while I lose my mind snipping off just a teeny tiny bit of this. The other thing that's handy to do is put a little bit of glue on the end of this to make it easier to do that with, to pull it through. Okay, so then what I did with the first button is I went through this 3 times. That gave me what I felt was a thick enough look to my my thread. Alrighty, so here's where we stand. We've got 3 layers of glue. Yeah. No, we have 3 layers of thread. Then what we're going to want to do is we're going to make a double knot. And then, once we've made the double knot, like that, you're going to cut off the short thread. And I leave about, I don't know what I would say, that's 1/4 of an inch on there. And the reason I do that is I'm going to want to make sure that I can lay this down so it's not going to show in these holes. Because if it shows in the holes, it's going to look kind of not that great. It's going to look wonky is what I mean. Okay. I'm going to glue that little piece down. I'm going to lay glue all the way to the edges and underneath the other piece of thread that you're wondering, why is she doing that? What's the deal with that thread? Okay. Then, well, I might as well do this now. I'm going to say about, I don't know. I'm making this up, but at this point, I'm going to say it's about maybe 8 or 9 inches of the thread. And I'm going to put glue like that. At this point, I've got my, I put glue on this, wrong one. No, maybe that's the right one. I put glue on it on the string so that I could make sure that it's there are 6 strands of the embroidery floss, and I don't want those to come apart. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that they're all one on the strand that's hanging behind there, if that makes any sense at all. And then it's going to make it a little bit tacky until it dries. This side is already done. See how cute the blue is? And then I made this string longer. It doesn't really matter. Now I kind of would recommend, when you put this together, you might want to use hot glue to ensure it stays together, but I'm going to go with just the same wet glue. And I need to make sure that my string, you see the string right there, the string needs to go completely opposite of where we glued it, and we glued it over here, so we want to still glue it. I'm going to do that, and we're going to glue both sides, but we want to glue it so that the glue is completely opposite of the string. Here's my string and my glue is over here. I'm going to again tack that down, hold that in place if I can. Then again, with our whole where does the string go, we're going to stick the string over there like that, and we're going to glue it. I'll have to take the clothespin off for a second. We want to make sure that we put this over there, and again, here's my string. Oops, I screwed that up. I think I'm going to need to move that gob of glue over there just a little bit. And go like that, making sure that these are in the exact same spot. Okay, then one more of this. Then you're going to want to make sure that this one's, one of my strings is much longer than the other. So all I'm going to do is even those up like that. See how much easier it is when you have them glued together? You know, that when I ran the glue down with my fingers, it makes it so much easier. Now I could have done this with a smaller punch, like a 1 3/4 inch punch, which I tried. Let me show you what that looks like. You probably would think this is okay, but I figured once I put the glue on this and put it underneath that button, it's going to be so small you wouldn't be able to make anything out of it. I don't know. That's just my thinking on it, but you could go smaller if you wanted to. That's what my little book looks like. And then my book will open, but I don't want to open it until I've got everything, the glue dried up. If you want to make your string shorter, you can do that. If you want the ends to be super long, you can do that. Here's how long mine is now. I think I'm going to cut it down a little bit, but I don't want to cut it too little, because if you cut it too short, you're going to end up not being able to make a bow if you've never played around with things like that. Kind of looks like a cookie. I thought it was cute. I thought the idea of it was fun. I think the buttons, I'll put the link to the buttons below. They were very inexpensive, and you got, I think, 10. I wish I could figure out where I threw them. Oh, there they are. Unfortunately, in my set, I only got, I got 3 of the one that I used. And then none of the rest of mine were the same. But here's the other thing I was thinking you could do with these. They would be so simple to do. Use it, you could use it either side, but what you could do is just glue a piece of paper, of pattern paper to it. Let me pick one I don't like at all. All right, I'm gonna go with this one because I don't like it. And you're gonna do this with 2 of them. I probably would use this one as my second one. And then what you're going to do is you're going to glue them down. Don't glue them close to each other. It's important that they're not glued anywhere near each other, because it's going to be harder to cut them apart if you don't. You're also going to be putting a piece of this paper on the back, because right now I'm making the front. I know what you're thinking. Think she has enough glue on that? Yes, I do think I have enough glue on it. Thanks for asking. We're gonna flip that over. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up. Then I'm gonna cut off this piece. This way, we'll be sure to have enough paper to go on the other side. So I bought all this embroidery floss at a garage sale, and so I got so much, and in so many different colors. I'd never have to wonder if I have the right color for anything. I like this light kind of sage green color. What's the easiest way to do this? I'd say the easiest way is just to go around it with scissors. Now, if you had the right size die, you could cut this out with the die, and you could cut your individual little sheets. They're going to go inside it with the die. The other thing I was going to tell you could do is, if you didn't have these buttons and you just wanted to create your own fun buttons that are 2 inches or bigger, what I would do, and if you were going to do this for Christmas craft shows, this is what I would do. I would make yourself a cardboard template that's however big around you want to make this, and then I would cut out the template, and out of thicker cardboard. You don't want to make it out of a super thin cardboard, because this isn't going to work. I'm talking, you want a little bit thicker than thin. That makes sense? You just don't want a thin cardboard. And then what you're going to want to do is, I'm going to just do this the easiest way, and that is I'm going to find my hole. Might have to do it this way. I made my 2 little holes there. You're going to want to punch your hole from the paper side. Sorry, I'm doing this on my lap, but I want to look at it as I do it. Okay, here's what you're going to want to do. After you've made your hole, you're going to want to take your scissors and kind of go around. You're not trying to pull it away. You're just trying to push the paper down in there. That way you won't have a spot where you don't see paper. In case that didn't make sense, I hope it did. Then we're going to do the same thing with the back. You're just going to glue them up. Oops, that's a lie. Why did I say that? I don't know why I did that. Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your thread, and I'm going to put what I should have done the last time, and that is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the ends and make it so that all the glue, well, all of the threads are attached together like that. That way it'll make it easier for us to thread it through those holes. So our first go round is I'm going to go through the back to the front. Again, I'm doing this with all 6 of the embroidery thread. I don't, strands, is that what you call it? We're going to call it a strand. I think that sounds good. And then we're going to push this through. So I've got the backs glued on them, and I've got them stringed. I figured that was exactly like the other video or the other notebook, so you didn't really have to see me do that again. And then all we're going to do, don't cut your little string. That would be bad. So we have our string, and I'm gonna, as I said before, I think this really helps it. My string is too long, but I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on this, because what I want is I want my strings to all be one cohesive string, not a bunch of strands. So I'm just holding them all together like that. Okay, next I already punched out a bunch of these and I glued them together. The glue is on the opposite side from this. So we're gonna put our glue. I put glue on these 3 strands and these 3 strands. Again, you want it to be completely opposite of the string that's sticking out right there. And then, can you see the glue? And can you see where the string is? Hopefully. That's a yes to both. Then we're going to take this piece, and again, our strings, you can always move your string, your piece with your string on it a little bit, like that. Then I need to find one of my, hopefully one of these is going to be strong enough. I think I'm going to put a couple of them on there. Ugh. And then you can see that we've got nice long strings, and I'm going to cut those off a little bit because I don't want super long strings. So hopefully this gave you some ideas of things you can do inexpensively for little stocking stuffers or something you could sell at craft fairs. I think they're cute. Let me open this one back up and then we can see what we think of it. And then you can just open it like that. You don't want to you want to slowly, like accordion, open it like an accordion. You don't want to rip it open really fast. Anyway, there it is, and we can write whatever we want in it. So I hope this gave you some fun ideas, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.